Hello. Well, today I am going to talk about a book that I have read, and it's called A Love for Life. A Love for Life, it's an amazing book that I have the opportunity to read. It's by Penny Hancock. And well, before I get into the story, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the author. Well, her name is Penny Hancock. She was born in the UK and she lived in the southeast of London. And once it was time for her to go to college, of course, she decided to study an English degree in Newcastle. While she finished her English degree, she decided to take classes and also give classes to students that were learning English. And at the time, she decided to write books, specifically crime and fiction books, for, of course, students that were learning English. Well, at the time, she has a wonderful family. She's living where she was born, and she has written around 30 to 34 books. And yeah, so now I am going to talk about the book A Love for Life. Well, A Love for Life is a story based on Fenella. Fenella is a wonderful woman, an admiring woman, I should say. She overcomes a lot of problems in her life during the whole book. Well, Fenella was married to Stephen. They both really wanted to have a child, but unfortunately, Fenella couldn't have a child of her own, so they opted to adopt a child. But unluckily, in that process, Stephen decided to leave her for a young woman, and maybe in the future, so they can have a child of their own. Fenella was devastated, but of course, she had a best friend named Teresa. Teresa was there when Fenella wanted her the most, and needed her the most, of course. Teresa was married to a wonderful man and also had an amazing child named Timothy. Fenella was so ashamed of her life because she didn't have a dream that she wanted, that was a kid, and now she didn't have a husband either. So that's when she decided to overcome that problem and try to adopt a child. Well, there was a lot of problems during that process, but she was able to adopt a child, and she got the opportunity to adopt a child named Ellie, a kid named Ellie, a girl. For her, Ellie was the most wonderful kid in the world. Of course, because it was her daughter, now that she had adopted her, but the rest of the people thought that Ellie was a problem girl because of all the problems that she had. Of course, in this story, they have good and bad stories together. They overcome a lot of problems together, and luckily, there's a man who comes into their life that is called Rod. Rod is a teacher, a kid's teacher, and he also has his own problems in the story. But luckily, Fenella and Rod decide to be together and fight the problems that they have. Well, the final chapter is an amazing an amazing chapter, and an amazing final story. So I recommend you a lot to read this book. It's very interesting, of course. It's very um, it's very helpful for people to learn to overcome their problems no matter what happens. Um, I think indeed that this book is a life-changing book. Perhaps they might learn how to overcome their problems. In my opinion, I really liked the book. It was quite interesting. I enjoyed the book the whole time. There was no boring parts of the story. So yeah, I hope you have the chance to read my book. It's called A Love for Life. I hope you have the chance to read my book. And well, that's all for this video. So bye.